Hello students, myself Suresh VS, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to start a new lesson from your textbook Footprints Without Feet. The title of the lesson is A Type of Surgery, written by James Herriot, who was born on 3rd October 1916 and died on 23rd February 1995. So he is a writer from Britain. We can say that he was a British veterinary surgeon and writer. He has written under the pen name James Herriot. Then what was his original name? His name was James Alfred Waite. You see, he has written mostly stories about animals and their owners. What is his best known work? The best known work of Alfred Waite, or we can say James Herriot, was If Only They Could Talk. Then now let us see the important characters of the story. One of the important character, that is a Tricky, a small dog. And another character, the owner of Tricky, Mrs. Pumphrey, a rich lady. Then Mr. Herriot, that is the narrator himself. So let us see the story. You can see that Tricky, a small dog, is pampered. Pampered means indulge with every attention. So a small dog, Tricky, was given extraordinary attention and overfed by its master, Mrs. Pumphrey, a rich lady. As a result of that, what happened? The dog became sick. The dog fell ill, and Mrs. Pumphrey consulted the doctor, yes, Mr. Herriot. Did the doctor advise for a surgery? Did the dog recover from its illness? We are going to examine all these things in the story. Let us go through the story. I was really worried about Tricky this time, doctor says. He was really worried about Tricky that time. Why? Why was he worried? He was anxious. Why? I had pulled up my car when I saw him in the street with his mistress, and I was shocked at his appearance. That is the reason. When he saw Tricky with his mistress, Mrs. Pumphrey, in the street, immediately the doctor stopped the car because the appearance of Tricky really shocked the doctor. The dog had changed such a way. So the look of the dog really surprised, really shocked, wondered the doctor. So he stopped the car immediately. He had become hugely fat. You see that? He was of overweight. He became enormously fat, like a bloated sausage. How did he look? Bloated means swollen. He looked like a swollen sausage. That is excessive in size. Sausage means finely minced meat stuffed into long cylindrical case. Finely minced cut meat that is filled in a long cylindrical case. So it looked like a finely minced or cut meat filled in a long cylindrical case with what? With a leg at each corner. So that means it did not have the shape of a dog at all. It looked like a very big piece of swollen piece of meat, we can say in one way. His eyes bloodshot. His eyes, you see that bloodshot, that means looked red, or we can say inflamed. And why does it happen? Because of the lack of energy or tiredness, results of tiredness. Bloodshot and rheumy. Rheumy means watery, water coming from the eyes. Stared straight. That means the eyes were wide open and watery. And it looked like that the two eyes were there in head of the body. And his tongue lolled from his jaws. And the tongue, you might have noticed the dogs usually put their tongues out of their mouth. So here the tongue of Tricky was hanging loosely from his mouth. Lolled means hung loosely from his jaws. Mrs. Pumphrey hastened to explain. So when Mrs. Pumphrey met the doctor, when he stopped the vehicle, she started to explain immediately. Hastened means quickly started explaining. What did she say? He was so listless. Listless means lacking energy and enthusiasm. Dear doctor, my dog has no enthusiasm and energy. It will lack enthusiasm and energy. Mr. Herriot, you see my dog. He seemed to have no energy. It seems that my dog has no energy at all. I thought he must be suffering from malnutrition. I think that my dog is suffering from malnutrition, lack of food, lack of nourished food, or we can say that lack of proper nutrition. My dog is not getting proper nutritious food. So I have been giving him some little extras. Little extras means more food. So I started giving the dog some more food, extra food between the meals to build him up. Why was she giving extra food? In order to make him strong, in order to help him recover from the problem of, lacking energy and enthusiasm. She started giving some extra food between the meals. And some malt and cod liver. What are the things she started giving in between the meals? Some malt, it's a kind of grain, maybe barley. And also cod liver. Cod liver, that is oil pressed from the liver of cod fish. Then again, and a bowl of Horlicks to build him at night to make him sleep. Nothing much really. So night she started giving a bowl of Horlicks. Then only the dog could sleep peacefully at night. Otherwise the dog won't sleep. Okay. So after giving all these things, she says that nothing much really. I am not giving much really. And did you cut down on the sweet things as I told you? Then doctor asked her, did you cut down, did you reduce giving the sweet things to the dog as I advised you? Oh, I did for a bit. Oh, I did that for a short time. But he seemed to be so weak. But my dog seemed to be so weak, so tired. So I had to relent. I had to abandon my harsh attitude. Why? Because my dog looked so weak. So she could not bear that. So she started to give the sweets also again. He just loves cream cakes. He loves cream cakes very much. And chocolate also. Chocolate and cream cakes, all these things he loves very much. I can't bear to refuse him. So doctor, I can't deny giving all these things to my dog. I looked down again at the little dog. Then the doctor looked at the dog one more time. That was the trouble. The doctor understood that. The dog is overfed. That is the problem with the dog. Tricky's only fault was greed. The only fault of Tricky that was his greed. He wants to eat again and again. He could not help it. He had never been known to refuse food. He never knew what to refuse food. Whenever the food was given to it, it ate it nicely. It never knew to refuse the food. He would tackle a meal at any hour of the day or night. Even if it's night or daytime, at any time the food was given, if the food was given to the dog, it would tackle it, or it would consume it, or snatch it. And I wondered about all the things Mrs. Pumphrey had not mentioned. Then Mr. Herriot understood, doctor understood that Mrs. Pumphrey, surely she was giving more food that she had not mentioned. So the narrator or Mr. Hungry thought himself of all the things that she would not have mentioned. She fed a Tricky. Are you giving him plenty of exercise? Then the doctor asked the next question. Are you giving him plenty of exercise? Well, he has his little walks with me as you can. As you can see now, he has that little walks. That is, he walks a little distance with me. But Hodgkin, that's the name of the gardener, has been down with the lumbago. Lumbago, that is the pain in the muscles and joints of the lower back. And my gardener is facing a problem. He is suffering from back pain. Okay, so he is absent nowadays. So that he could not take him out for playing. Playing what? Or doing exercise and playing like a ring throwing. That is to throw rings, and afterwards it was caught by the dog. It was an exercise as well as a game given to the dog. So my gardener is sick. So I could not send the dog out with the gardener for this ring throwing game. I tried to sound severe. You see that the doctor became more serious now. Now I really mean this. Now I really want to tell you this. If you don't cut his food right down, if you don't reduce the food of the dog now and give him more exercise, if you don't give more exercise to him, he is going to be really ill. He is going to be really sick. Your dog is going to be really sick if you don't give enough exercise as well as cut short or reduce the food that you have been giving to the dog. You must harden your heart. You must toughen your heart. You must be more serious and keep him on a very strict diet. I advise you to keep your dog in a very strict diet. Don't give more food unnecessarily. Mrs. Pumphrey wrung her hands. She twisted her hands. Oh, I will, Mr. Herriot. I am sure you are right. Yes, I am sure you are right. But it is so difficult. But it is so difficult for me. Giving the food to the dog. So that is so difficult to me. So very difficult. She set off after telling that. She started from there. Head down. How she was walking? Keeping her head down along the road. As if she determined to put the new regime into practice immediately. It looked like she decided to practice the new regime, that is the new routine. What is the new routine? Reducing the food and keeping the dog in a strict diet. As if she has decided to put this new routine into practice, she moved from there immediately. I watched their progress with a growing concern. I watched their forward movement with great worries, with great concern. Tricky was tottering along in his little tweed coat. Tricky was tottering. Tottering means move in an unsteady way. Tricky could not walk properly. It was moving in an unsteady way. And along in his little tweed coat. The little tweed coat means a rough surfaced coat. So in its rough surfaced coat, it moved in an unsteady way. That doctor watched. He had a whole wardrobe of this coat. You see that? Mrs. Pumphrey had a full cupboard of coats meant for the dog. These are the coats that could be used in the rainy season as well as in the winter season. A cupboard is full of coats that could be used for Tricky the dog. Raincoat for the wet days. He struggled on. You see that he was struggling while walking, he struggled on. That means he was making a great effort to move with drooping in his harness. Drooping means bending in his harness. That is the straps and fittings. So with the straps around the neck and all other fittings, so it was really facing problem to move ahead. It was moving with a bent head, struggling hard to move forward. I thought it would not be long before I heard from Mrs. Pumphrey. Then I thought that before a long time I would get a call from Mrs. Pumphrey telling that her dog was sick. So the doctor was definite about it. The expected call came within a few days. As the doctor expected, the call from Mrs. Pumphrey came within a few days. Mrs. Pumphrey was distraught. Distraught means upset. She was really upset. Tricky would eat nothing. She said, my dog Tricky, he does not eat anything. Refuse even his favorite dishes. Oh doctor, he refuses even his favorite dishes also. And besides, he had bouts of vomiting. Besides that, he had an attack of vomiting. That means then he has an illness of vomiting. He spent all his time lying on, and besides where rug. Rug means carpet. And more than that, what is he doing the whole day? He is lying there on the carpet, panting. Panting means breathing heavily. So breathing heavily the whole day, what is he doing? He is lying on a carpet. He is not at all active. Didn't want to go for walks. The dog is not ready to go for a walk also. Didn't want to do anything. The dog does not want to do, yes, any work, any action. So she was really upset. and rang up to doctor. Now let us see what happened afterwards. We will discuss about this in the next class. Dear students, thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.